Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Richard from Homework Hookup. Wanted to do another video on solving systems of linear equations using elimination. This is a little bit more of a complicated example, or a little bit more complicated, not by much, but it's a little bit more complicated than the first one. But if you didn't see my first video, check it out. I'll link it in the description, or make sure you're able to see it somehow. So, alright, anyway, we're going to get right into it. So, if you watched the first video, the whole goal of this is to eliminate one of the variables in both equations. So, either eliminate the x's or the y's. So, in the last video, it's easier because all we had to do was change the sign. But in this video, the numbers in front of the variables for both x and y are pretty different. So, we have a 2 here and we have a 5 here. We have a 3 here and we have a 4 here. So there's no easy sign switch we can do. So what we have to think about is we got to think about common numbers that 2 and 5 have, or 3 and 4 have, and it's pretty much just pick your poison at this point. You can either solve for the y's or you can solve for the x's. Doesn't matter as long as you do it correctly. So if I wanted to solve for x, for instance, I need to think about the numbers that 2 and 5 have in common. So I can do a little table here, so I know there's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. I'm just counting by 2's at this point. And then for 5, I could also do 5, 10, 15, 20. And you want to pick, I suggest the smallest one they both have in common. So kind of like finding an LCD. So if we're solving for x's, which we pretty much will be at this point, we want 10. So basically what I need to think of is I need to turn this into a 10 and I need to turn this into a 10. But here's the thing. We want to change the sign for one of them. So one of them is negative 10 and one of them is positive 10. So what I'm going to say is, okay, 2 times what will give me 10? And I'm going to multiply that by this whole equation. And then 5 times what will give me 10? Well, we can see that in my list here, the second number is 2, so that means 5 times 2 would give us 10. And then in my first list for the 2's, 10 is the 5th number, so that means 2 times 5 will give us 10. Alright, awesome. Okay, so like I said, one of these has to be negative, doesn't matter which one. I'm just going to make the negative 2, and we can just proceed. So when we distribute that 5, what we're going to get is we're going to get 10x minus 15y equals 5. And when we distribute this negative 2, we're going to get a negative 10x minus 8y equals negative 28. Cool. Awesome. So now we have our two new equations. As you can see, they will be a lot easier to work with now. The x's are going to cancel. So we're just going to add these together. So 10x and negative 10x are going to cancel out. Negative 5y and negative 8y together will make a negative 23y. Hopefully I did that correctly. Yep, negative 23y. And then we have 5 and negative 28, which is going to give us a negative 23, actually. So cool. So now we got to divide both sides by negative 23. When we do that, this is going to cancel here. Let me give us a little bit of room. So that's going to cancel. The negative 23 and the negative 23 here are going to cancel. And basically what we're going to get is we're going to get a positive 1. Awesome. Okay, cool. So now what we got to do is substitute this 1 back into one of the original equations. So either this original equation or this original equation. I'm going to choose the second one just because in the first video I chose the first one, just so you can see it doesn't matter. So I'm going to rewrite the first equation. So it's 5x plus 4, and then remember we got 1 for y, so 4 times 1 equals 14. So I'm going to solve for x. So we got 5x plus 4 equals 14. I'm going to subtract 4 on both sides. Right. Then I get 14 minus 4, which is going to give me 10. And I'm going to divide both sides by 5. And I get x is equal to 2. And that's it. So this was not that much complicated. The only thing that really made it difficult really was just coming up with a number between a number that 5 and 2 both went into. But that's as difficult as it got. It wasn't as easy as just switching the signs. We could have also did the y's, and we can see that 3 and 4, they both have a 12 in common, so we could have went that approach as well, and we would have got the answer the same. So I also wanted to include, in case you weren't sure if your answer was correct, this is what should happen. So to check, let me just do this really quick. I won't make this too long. But to check your answer, so check answer, what you want to do is the variables you got, or the answers you got, you want to plug them into one of the original equations. So I'm going to choose the first one. So I'm going to have 2, our x that we found was 2, so we have 2 times 2 minus 3, our y is 1, is equal to 1. So here's the thing. When you substitute these two answers that you got, whatever you get on this side should be equal to this. So whatever we get should be equal to 1. So let's see. So 2 times 2 is 4, minus 3 times 1, which is 3, equals 1. Well, 4 minus 3 is indeed 1. 1 equals 1, so this is good. So that's how you know your answer is correct. I just wanted to show that really quick in case you had some doubt about your answer, but that's essentially it. This is a pretty, not too bad of a problem, but here's another example of solving system of linear equations with elimination. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, like, subscribe. I'll be doing more videos, and feel free to leave comments if you have any questions or if you have problems on your own that you want me to help you with. I can definitely do that. So thanks so much for watching the video, and have a great day.